Yeah, and folks, I think you should be seeing the stream. You should be able to see the alpha. Is this our first time ever, technically? Like, I mean, I know this is
Yes.
going way back, but we've been talking about an alpha for literally years. And is this our first time walking around it on a stream?
Yeah, I think it is. Just a funny thing.
That's great.
Kyle sent us like notes about the alpha last night before we did this. And I don't know if you noticed, Kyle, you said that the alpha is going to release in 2024 in your notes. So this is how. So I don't know if you were
That's
copying something else and just didn't change that. But yeah, we've been working on this for a long time, I guess.
yeah, we just going back to 2021 for just a second. Yeah, Kyle's volume is also low. Going back to 2021 for a second, that was the year that that there was that big shift in our team at Titanic Honor Glory. The three of us really stepped into try to bring you guys something by the end of 2021. And as people will recall, it did not go well. We had a really hard year trying to get an alpha to you all. And then things went badly multiple times in the following years. But what's really wonderful is in the last, I don't know, year, Kyle, when did you like really get this sort of this level that we're looking at? When did this kind of get going?
I mean, I guess it started. I mean, some aspect of Belfast existed as far back as 2017 with Demo 3, and then a little,
Right.
and then a few years before that, I think, when I had made the whatchamacallit, the dry dock for other reasons. But this thing here with the gantry in the main yard didn't start until 2023.
Yeah, so in 2023, Kyle really went rogue, I would say, in the best way possible. And he started working on kind of the things that I would say inspired him and actually excited him. Me and the rest of the team, we might want to focus on this and this and this, but Kyle wanted to do something that Kyle wanted to do. And it really goes to show that like sometimes you just got to listen to Kyle and let him cook, as the kids would say. And what you're looking at is the most incredible progress I think we've ever seen in such a short amount of time, between Kyle working on this level and all of our modelers, our programmers coming together to work on something exciting. And it does kind of go against the mentality of only work on the ship. But again, it's just sort of at the end of the day, and I think anybody out there who works on passion projects and has sort of an ADHD side of them, sometimes you just got to work on the thing that excites you. Otherwise, you're not going to work on anything at all. And over these last 2 years or so, what you're looking at is the result of it. And we're so excited where things are going, that we have this big, beautiful shipyard. We have all these cool places in the shipyard that we want to show you today, all these sheds, and you can even explore the ship as it stands now in a really fun way that you'll see in a second here as well. So I would like to give, just to start this off, and also because I'm only going to be here for a little bit because I have work today. It's early morning for me here in California. I have to go to work in like an hour. So I just want to make sure I say this now before Matt and Kyle sort of take this over and show you guys around. I want to give all the credit in the world to Matt and Kyle and Derek and Tyler and all of our researchers, all of our modelers. You guys, like they're all doing such a great job, but Matt and Kyle in particular, just because I think a big reason that maybe this has gone so well was something else that happened 2 years ago. Is I took a major step away from the project because of my own personal life. I have, getting a desk job, and I haven't been as available. And I honestly think Matt and Kyle have, out of necessity, have like stepped up to the plate to like really run this thing. People hear the word creative director and they think that a creative director is in charge of everything, and that's not true at all. These two guys, Matt and Kyle, have like been kicking butt and leading our incredible group of people in a way that no one's been able to in Titanic Honor and Glory history, like going all the way back to the beginning. I think you guys are doing such a great job, and this is the result of it. And every day when I'm at my day job and I wish I could be working on Titanic stuff, I see these images that you guys are, like the progress that you're making, and I'm just so thrilled to see all of this. So
I suppose first of all, thank you, James, for your kind words. We got a super chat here from Carter Rhodes, and it says, a massive congratulations to the team for this incredible milestone. The passion you all have is unlike any other. Don't lose it. Thank you guys for sharing your talent and love of Titanic with the world. Thank you, Carter.
Well, why don't we, Matt, why don't you pick a shed and,
we can,
and then
I figured we could start kind of, sort of in the, we could go up here first. This is down here below, this building here. It's basically, it's called the cabinet shop, more or less. And, just hang around these locations. So first, what you're looking at here is the cabinet shop. The lower level, Matt, if you go down below in that area under there.
Wait a second. I just put the photo on. You'll see it. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is an example of me being a Titanic enthusiast first and developer second. That is
Matt,
amazing.
You can, if you step back, you can
see the plates there. Yeah, I'll try to
get the plate. Get the plate racks.
I try to get it there.
Hold on.
Oh, actually, if you go into the plating shop near the stairs where those 3 tracks are going, underneath towards the front, and then look towards the back, you can pull up another photo. It's I believe it's the cabinet shop, lower level.
Let's see.
I see someone in the chat asking why can't Matt just share his screen. We tried that. When Matt shared his screen with us,
the stream went bonkers. Yeah.
Yeah, the stream got really bad when he was trying to share his screen with us. So this is our next best thing. Okay, very cool. I feel like someone should say what they did in the cabinet shop. I mean, I think I know what they made in the cabinet shop. But
so first, this lower level was a like a plating shed where they would, punch holes for rivets and cut plates and things like that. They use these big machines to do that. And the upper level of the shed, Matt, you can go up there now.
Thanks,
and there's a couple of cabinet shop photos you can pull up there, taken from different corners. The cabinet shop itself, I mean, it's what it says. They built cabinets. They built a bunch of furniture, I guess mostly cabinets and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff that they would have had on the ship, like those standard wash basins and all of that, that's the ones in 3rd class, 2nd class, even 1st class. They built that stuff up here.
And I think it's important to say this. I already see someone asking it in the chat. A big reason we want these sheds here, we're not just building them so they sit here empty. Something that this entire alpha is all about, and it's honestly what we wanted 2021 to be, and it of course didn't come together. But we want you all not just to be able to explore our Titanic model as it's being built, which we're going to go show you in a little bit. You can walk around the beams and it's really magnificent. We also want you to be able to see things that we're making for the ship that might not even be ready for the ship. So imagine being in this cabinet shop, and all over this floor and the floor below can be models of furniture that we have made for the ship that's just not quite ready to go into the ship. So it would almost look like a little museum up here with all these beautiful first class things and second class things and third class things, whatever. And then same goes for all the other sheds. Each shed has like its own little reason for being there. And so we can, you know, put props in here and put cool objects in here for you to see ahead of time, because we're not building the ship in like a chronological order. That'd be insane. So if we have furniture ready to go, but there's nowhere to put it, it can be in here for a while we build the ship. So it's just a cool thing, a cool way to tell Titanic story, to educate and to entertain.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that the sheds, like all these different locations you're going to see, it'll be a combination of the two things. There will be props and stuff to kind of display their actual purpose of use. So in here, there's going to be a bunch of the carpentry tables and things like that. In the lower level, there will be the machines and stuff like that. But there will be all kinds of space in here for displaying all of the furnishings and different pieces that would be on the ship.
You'll see.
A couple of us. Oh, first of all, Matt, you should head over to the general store. That's the building next to the cabinet shop, two floors. So the general store is kind of what it sounds like. If we go into the space below, the lower level served as kind of a supply storage, and this space in particular was the rivet storage. Like all of the rivets that they would use to hammer the ships together and all that. That was all stored down here. And if you were the workers, you would come in here and you would get the supplies you needed. I need this size of rivet for that or whatever, and this type of rivet. You'd come in here and you'd get your stuff and you'd haul it over to the gantry and you'd, use it in your process. So, all those millions of rivets used on the ship, they probably would have gone through here for the most part.
Wow.
It was interesting when you see these period photos, it was interesting to kind of figure out where these were all taken, because it was kind of like I wasn't sure where the rivet photo was taken, and then eventually it dawned on me, okay, it was probably down here in this part of the shed on this side. It's very fun to figure that stuff out for the most part.
And just so everybody knows, and this is great. So this UI that you're looking at is not final. It might be final for like the alpha, for example, but certainly not once it's further along. We'd like to do something with this. But do we want to put on a different weather setting while we continue to explore the?
We'll leave the different weather setting for. We could change it to clear for now, just to kind of
just to do something different.
A different time of day. How about morning?
Yeah, wait till you guys see this weather system. Making it rain, making it snow in this shipyard, turning it up to a blizzard at night, and then going in the drawing room and looking out the window at oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
So going inside the general, we're in the upper level of the general store proper. By the way, that door there's actually a bridge between the general store and the upper level of the cabinet shop. I haven't added that yet. But yeah, so this area, the side of the general store that's nearest the cabinet shop, Matt, if you go to that corner nearest the door and look towards the back side of the shop and bring up...
I might have brought up the wrong photo.
Yeah, that's the wrong. Oh yeah, that photo you brought up there is the correct one for that side. That side of the shop was used as like a furniture storage. So when they're making all that stuff, they put it in there, I guess. And then this side of the shop where you're at now-ish.
I see it.
This is there was a big counter and they used it as a supply shop for basically all the furniture they were building. Like, I need these tanks for these basins. I need nails or fasteners and hinges and things like that. They'd all get it from here.
Oh yeah, good idea.
So huge areas of the shipyard here, between all the buildings, were basically they were large. These are called plate racks, and this is where they stored all the material that was used for building the ships. You had obviously all the shell plates, the deck plates, and also a lot of beams and frames and things like that. They put it all out here. either awaiting installation on the ship or awaiting being cut and punched and all that.
All right.
So we could go. So we could go to the front. Let's take a look at the front of the building. The street.
Women. There's women here.
Oh yeah, there's women here. We've got some standard guys walking back and forth, and women, and probably wouldn't be that many women, but So we got this is the front of the main offices. That's still there today. And if we go through
hotel.
the hotel, we're going to the hotel now. Now we could go through this front door and into the lobby.
I'm in the lobby.
And you can wander the corridors and the staircases if you want.
Just like this guy's doing right now.
Now, it is something very important to note is that this building didn't technically exist like this at this time of Titanic's construction. In fact, I'm not sure it was here at all, really, when Titanic was in the gantry. The building that was here before was one floor for the most part. There was one section that had a couple of floors, and it would have looked very different with a very different layout. But we don't know what that looked like inside. So we opted to be anachronistic and just go with the offices as they exist more or less today. When they finished that expansion in like 1912 or so.
And what's fun about this, everyone, because I'm sure people will wonder, like, okay, so what is this all for? It's obviously very cool to have, and we think the people who are run the Titanic Hotel will find this very interesting and useful. But there are spaces in this building that are extremely important for historical purposes, like the offices of Thomas Andrews or Lord Peary. But the room that's the most interesting to me, which Matt can go to, is the presentation room, which is at the.
The presentation room is on the second floor through that one door.
Remember, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, sorry, the lag.
I've been here.
Yeah, sorry. I mentioned the offices, and then I pivoted to the presentation room. So where Matt is heading in now is the presentation room, which, to my knowledge, is just a space that they could take clients like White Star Line and show them.
You could see there's paintings of like their ships that they've done and all that, and on the far wall even. There's if you were to zoom in on it, which we don't need to do here, you can see that there's a bunch of photos of a ship that they worked on back then called China, and it was a ship that ran aground and it had a huge hole in the bottom, and they had to basically rebuild a huge chunk of the ship to get it in order again. And they put those photos on the wall, and you can imagine they did that as a look what we can do. We took this heavily damaged ship and we fixed it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And so so yeah, that's what the room is for. And we'll have all the furniture in there. It's already been made, but it needs to be polished up by our modelers. But we're going to use the room for our own purposes as well. And I think the primary thing is going to be here. You'll be able to go in here and you'll be able to see how THG is going to, make the ship and our process. And there'll be information about that.
What's out here?
Shall we head down to
we could go room? We could check out first the Peary and Andrews offices.
Oh, that's right. We got to go to Thomas Andrews.
There's nothing in their
office.
Again, the furniture it's the same furniture that's going to be in the
which one first?
consultation room.
Peary or Andrews?
Peary.
Okay.
Who was Peary?
Some guy. Not important.
Some guy. Some guy.
You can thank him for Titanic and Olympic, more or less. He's the owner of all this, so that's why he's a Lord Peary. So this is his office, and you can go to it today, and you can still see the fireplace, at least the mantle. Is the window still there, Kyle?
I'm not sure, actually.
I don't remember exploring this room in 2018, but yeah,
I don't think it is there.
Let me get the archival up while you talk about his room really quickly.
Oh yeah, you can walk to that back corner and get the archival up. Yeah, this and the other office will, for the most part, just be here to kind of show you these extra spaces because they're fun and interesting spaces to have. But I think we'll find some use for it as well. For example, I would love if we had in this room, Matt, you said you wanted to, all these years, ever since the first Indiegogo, we had all these lists and
Yes.
these donor lists, these passenger lists, and all that stuff. And you would like to have these in this alpha, right?
It has to be in the alpha, yeah.
And for the shipyard and the offices, we have a much lower standard of like accuracy and detail. Like obviously, we could take a long time on some stuff for the ship, and I'm sure that frustrates some people, and there's a very high standard for that stuff, but we don't really need to do that for this. Like for example, these two drawing rooms, I made them in total in like 1 week. There wasn't really any big pressing thing to be like, okay, it's got to be the most accurate thing ever. Obviously, I did try to be as accurate as I could, but there's no reason to get it down to the millimeter. So these offices were used by the draftsmen at Harland and Wolff to draw up plans for all their ships, and there were two of them. And for our purposes, we're going to display plans in here. Well, in one of the offices, we'll probably have like a bunch of Matt's plans.
Thanks.
Like the Titanic deck plan. That's those plans that are available on there. We'll have a bunch of samples in here for you guys to look at. And in the other office, we'll have some recreations of iron plans.
And the reason this is important to us to have, the goal of this whole thing is to be more like a museum, like I guess a documentary, more of an educational, more of an informational kind of experience than anything that has, a story mode or drama and characters and stuff like maybe we wanted way back years and years and years ago. And so to allow the player to explore Titanic in the on the slipway, and then eventually, once it's finished, when it's actually floating and exploring the full finished ship, to be able to come into the drawing offices and see deck plans and iron plans, and to go into the various sheds and see the pieces of Titanic as if it's like taking a Lego set and taking apart each little brick and explaining what each brick does. There's just a lot of opportunity for us to let you see Titanic like you never have before. Yes, so the ship is currently in a state that is more in line with like what, 1909, 1910, would you say?
A hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the offices, everything else is pretty in line with like the actual time Titanic was being built. The offices are the exception.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
And so the goal is, folks, as you can see, she's not yet plated. She has ribs, and she has, as you'll see in a minute, she has like the watertight bulkheads, which is really cool to see from this perspective.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize what James was asking. I have a headache. Yeah, no, the structure here, I'm not sure. There's no specific time frame for it. It's just like where we're at in terms of what's been made of the structure.
Yeah. So all those years where you've heard in documentaries and in books about Titanic's watertight bulkheads, and this just can show the value of this alpha and the value of Titanic Honor and Glory. You've seen these bulkheads on deck plans. You've seen documentaries. They'll draw little lines to show you where they were and how they didn't go high enough and all that. Now, when you explore the ship as it currently stands, you literally can look up at the watertight bulkheads. You can literally see them in front of you, and it's really incredible. It gives you just a whole new appreciation. And walking around the gantry as Matt is doing here, it's just so much fun to see Titanic from the perspective of a shipyard worker. It's really something.
And when you play this alpha, you'll be able to explore all this stuff, and you'll be
look
able to
at that. Jeez.
you'll be able to walk the entire gantry all the way up to the crane that's on top. But we're not going up there right now.
Oh, okay. We're not going there. Sorry.
Yeah, even without special collision,
Oh,
it's stopping.
parkour. I made it.
How did you make it?
I made it. I think I'm
Okay.
in boiler room number 1. I'm
We
not
haven't
sure.
seen it yet.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
No, I'm far aft. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm in boiler. I think, well, I'm going to head to the bow.
Wait.
Yeah, I was in boiler room number 1. Now I'm in the fireman.
Yeah, go to the bow and we'll start from the front and we'll work our way through.
Wait, I was just looking. You fell into boiler room number 6.
That's what I meant, 6. Yes, I'm also 6th. I knew I was in the front. Sorry, I am a fake historian, as you know.
Yeah,
So-
Matt, you have to give back your historian card.
Yeah,
I guess
historian.
while we're talking, while we're here, that you see, I don't know where you're at right now, Matt, but
I'm in
another thing to note is that right now what you're seeing of this structure is very, well, obviously it's a work in progress. I mean, a lot of stuff is, but the beams that are in place here have not been cut yet for like all of the funnel casings and the openings and stuff there. So there's still hole beams. Eventually they'll be cut and it'll be more accurate. But for now, it's
But you
just-
can already appreciate the shear of the ship. Like Matt, if you look just straight to either the port or starboard side, you can see that the ship it almost looks like the player is standing, is like leaning to one side. So you can really appreciate something that we've never been able to,
Oh, I fell.
bring to you outside of, I believe, our old Scotland Road and Project 401
And
has
it's
a bit of shear to it, but
It's worth-
but that was sort of like faked in.
Yeah, it's worth noting though that also the entire ship is on a tilt right now, so because it's on the
That's
gantry.
true too. Yeah.
So it's way more.
And it's cool to look up at these bulkheads. And I know a lot of you, when you have your hands on this, you'll be doing this as well. It's fun to look up at these bulkheads with, having your deck plans on another monitor or printed out next to you, and being able to look up at these little holes that are cut in, like the doors and these big gaps in the watertight bulkheads, and being able to try to decipher, like, oh, what deck is that? Why was that hole there? Oh, that's the door on E deck. Oh, cool. We all kind of enjoy doing that sort of thing. So there's a lot of exploration and fun to be had. How about this? Can I tell you where to go, Matt? And then we'll. Will you park?
I did it.
Just
I did it.
you did it?
You'll
Okay.
see.
As
You'll
long
see,
as,
but I did it.
oh my gosh, how did you do that?
I did it.
That was a miracle.
Don't look down.
Some of these doors, you gotta crouch through.
There we go. I made it.
All
to
right,
the
so what
third
deck
class.
are we on right now?
You're on F deck by the double staircase down to the
Oh
third
yeah,
class.
double staircase.
I'm gonna stop right there for
Yeah,
a second and
that's-
just take some water.
Yeah, third class dining saloon
Mhm.
is what we're standing in right now. Those are the two stairs. Very cool.
Yeah, so those doors, some of those doors are for the hoist that was here, the provisions hoist, I think. Actually, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
But this bulkhead was at the back end of the turbine room. So right now we're actually standing in like the dynamo space. But one of the interesting things, if you look on the floor, oh, you already went back. But if you look on the floor, it's you get these interesting shapes of the plating on the deck, like on the tank top, and this is all stuff that you see on the iron plans, where it's like you've got all these weird manholes and openings and cuts and stuff, and it's a really weird space. Yeah, the walls of the room, you're just seeing the the hull frames of the ship, the ribs, and this. One of the reasons that we're making all of this steel, it's not a pointless thing where it's like, oh, you'll never see it. You'll see it a lot everywhere, all the time, and that's not no space is more true for that than down here on the tank top, where you have these engineering spaces. All of this is exposed when you come down here to the shaft tunnel. Even when the ship is finished, it's all going to be visible. You can see all of these structural elements, all of these frames on the hull, and the bulkheads, and it's all going to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I often say to people when they're like, why are you making all this steel? And it just literally look up any photo of Titanic's interiors. It is impossible to find one where either the steel isn't fully visible, it's just painted white, or it's barely hidden behind some, like wood joinery, like a beam of wood that's covering the steel beam, so it's all extremely important, especially when you incorporate shear and when you incorporate all the other things that we want to make sure is in this project. This stuff is absolutely necessary.
Oh yeah.
And can you walk the length of Titanic or Olympic to the stern, to where the water reaches the sort of where the propellers would be? Maybe in honor of the blizzard, or no, yeah, that's good, perfect. Look at that, ooh, baby, that's good stuff.
Oh, and now that we have the snow going, as Matt heads there, you'll start to see it kind of pile up on things. It doesn't physically 3D pile up, but it's still.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, this is in honor of the blizzard that caused the power outage earlier in the stream.
The high winds, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd walk between the ships if you can.
I can, yeah, I'll go there.
I know you're already halfway down because you're ahead of, or I'm behind you.
In fact, Matt, you should turn on the blizzard. I think it'll accumulate faster.
That'll give me PTSD. All right, let's go.
Oh, that's accumulating pretty fast now.
Oh, it's so loud.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you could go back to snow if you want.
I'm just gonna turn it down. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I can't hear anything, so I don't know if they can.
I'm worried. Yeah, there we go. But the snow's. We have the
snow.
Yeah,
wait, you can go back to snow.
What? There's icicles?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. I added that there's this thing in ultradynamic sky or weather where.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
You can put these splines for water drips when it rains, but you can also enable icicles for them, so they form in winter.
Well,
that's amazing.
We're gonna turn on a storm now.
Yeah, turn on a storm and then take me to the stern, and then I gotta go.
Oh, the cat! There's a cat.
Oh, there's a cat. That's right. I forgot about the cat.
So I'm in between the ships. Man, there's icicles.
Okay, yeah, just head all the way aft. I love walking down this this strip of the slipway, because you got Olympic on one side, Titanic on the other. You kind of get a before and after, and it just impresses upon you just how absolutely incredible these ships are. Just the size is unbelievable, and you can walk under the ship as well, and maybe cut underneath those little pillars, guys.
Yep, I'm underneath a place
cool.
I would never go in real life.
Yeah. Very cool. It's just so much fun to explore, to change the weather, and be a little shipyard worker. And then when it's properly available and we have some more within it, it's just going to be such an informative, educational thing. Yeah, see, look at this. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, it's incredible. There's just such a great group of people working on this project at the moment. And we haven't always had that. We've had times in the past where it's been it was part of the reason the project isn't progressing is because we were having a hard time collaborating on things and coming to agreements on things. And even, I mean, we still, we'll still go back and forth about, oh, God, look how beautiful that is. Oh, and this is what I was talking about earlier. It's like, you can go into these sheds and you can see these objects. You can stand next to them. And I know we just saw these exact objects over on the ship, but seeing it in this shed, walking up to it, it makes you go, Jesus, these are so impressive. And so that's going to be the case for everything. Like these sheds can be filled with all sorts of props from the ship, furniture and such. And just being able to go up to it outside of the context of Titanic, you get a very different appreciation for these big things and these cool things. So
the building we're walking around right now is the plating shed, or one of the plating sheds. Basically, all that steel outside. they would bring it into here and into sheds like this, and they'd use those big machines. They'd swing them around, you know, hoist them around, and
Got the picture up.
they would in order to, there's actually a specific location where you can go to get this photo angle. It's at the way at the back end of the shed, at the narrowest part, looking the other direction. That's pretty much it. That's where you're seeing it. So yeah, they would use these machines, and in the photo, there's like this riveter thing. Those double bottom floors that made up the bottom of the ship, they would pre-assemble them like in this area. I think the only place we haven't explored in terms of shipyard buildings is the joinery shop. And then the rest of the shipyard offers an opportunity to look at a bunch of stuff before it ever gets on the ship, because maybe we'll have a room that's done, but the ship isn't done, or we'll have a bunch of stuff, objects and furniture that's not done, or that is done, but it's not ready. You know, the ship isn't ready for it yet, or some specific area, so we can display it here in the shipyard. But it also serves as a way for you to kind of experience the construction of Titanic in the sense of like educating you about it. So like, how did they build the furniture on the ship, or where did they do this? How did they deal with structural elements, and how, you know, what was the process? And so you have a lot of the crucial steps of the process early on being represented here. Like you have the drawing offices and the consultation room and all that, where, you know, they would talk, in these smoky offices, they would talk about, you know, the designs of these ships and all that, and then they'd have guys drawing up basic plans. And
Kind of.
yeah, so this room contained a bunch of carpentry tables, and if you look on that one table towards the foreground on the right, you can see they're making one of those things that they have on the bridge, like the grid. So yeah, basically a lot of the wood stuff on the ship would have been built here. You'd be surprised how many pictures there are actually of this. So, you know, the work to build areas with no pictures. There's pictures pretty much of all of this. Like I was able to build the gantry based on a whole bunch of photos that are available of like the ships under construction, and that was before I found even bigger archive of photos that show more of the gantry. So there's a lot of data that's available.
Yeah.
Although for the sheds, there are very limited photos. It's only like one or two.
There she goes. Oh, I threw her far this time.
And one more thing, you'll see those other gantries, those crane things off in the background. There's three of them. Before they built the Arrol Gantry, there were several slipways, and there was one of those cranes over each one, and that's how they would, like, before the gantry, that's how they would like haul materials around and stuff for building ships. And when they built the Arrol Gantry, they actually built these big temporary tracks, and they transported those huge mobile cranes sideways along the tracks to this one slipway where they put all three of them on one slip, and that's where they were until they were demolished. But it was such a huge project. Everything about building this, not just building the ships, but building the shipyard and building the gantry and doing all the stuff they needed to do. Because this, you know, as big as the ships are, the gantry is way bigger. It's a huge thing.
Right.
And it was this huge engineering project that they had to do to get the ships built. I mean, just to clear the space for the gantries was a huge engineering project in itself. Yeah, it's really amazing what they managed to do back in those days. And that's kind of the other big thing about having this shipyard, is that at the end of the day, it's a massive tribute to the talent of the people who worked here and built this shipyard and built these ships and built the gantry and built everything, and who did the designing and who worked in these offices and who, you know, put in their time to do these incredible things at a time when they didn't have CAD and they didn't have all these automatic tools and they didn't have all this other stuff. It was so difficult and so dangerous to do this work. Like if you're out there in the yard in the gantry and you're building it, it's just so dangerous. And if you're in the offices, you know, you got to do all this stuff manually, and it's amazing what they managed to do. And sometimes we'll make fun of it, You know, like if you look at the iron plans that were drawn, sometimes there's weird mistakes, and it can be funny sometimes and frustrating because there were other shipyards who made better plans. Honestly,
Mhm.
like there are plans of Lusitania that show every light fixture, for example, and you don't get that with Harland and Wolff. But despite that, they did incredible work in designing these ships, and I don't envy having to do that without CAD and the modern tools that we
Yes.
have.
Yep.
Two last questions to
Mhm.
address. One is, what was the other one? Will you be able to explore more of the ship in this alpha? I mean, what you see here is what will be there initially, and then updates will go out over time, or very early on for patrons, and then for the public as well. And just more of the ship as it's done will be added as
Yeah.
we make it. Like that's like the main purpose of this alpha at the end of the day is to allow you to see the stuff we're making while we're making it without you having to wait until the ship is like done.
Yeah.
Like you can just see everything we're working on as we go, and some of that is going to be whip stuff that you'll see. And someone else asked, can we reset the updates on the Titanic hull as the build is going to progress? I think that is something we'd like to do. I don't know when we would do it necessarily, but it would be nice to be able to like turn back the time on the construction to where maybe you just want to explore the double bottom without all
Yeah.
the plating on top and have fun looking at the floors and stuff like that, or just the keel. So that would be fun to do. That's definitely under consideration. Yeah. It is really important to note that the recent months especially have been some of the best probably in THG history. We have so many people working on so many amazing things, and that includes. I'm not just talking about like the podcast and the animation stuff. I mean like people working on the ship actually, like making all this stuff for the ship and everything, and the progress on the alpha and the incredible things Tyler's doing on the programming side and all that. Like this has been some of the most productive months in a while. And we hope to carry that forward into 2026, and
Yep.
especially once the alpha releases. And I think that's it. And thank you everyone for,
Mhm.
of course, all the support over the years in general, but also this year, and all your patience with us. Um, and obviously, if you're somebody who hasn't felt too hot about some of the directions we're going, I'm very, very sorry, but it's we hope that will the work we do will speak for itself in time. And just thank you to everybody for everything over this time and over this year. And we hope you've all had a great year and a great 2025. And we hope that everyone's 2026 will be even better. And yeah, there's going to be plenty of fun things to come. And of course, don't forget about the Queen Mary coming up. I think we announced that, right?
We did announce that. Yeah, we didn't announce.
Yes, good.
Yes, we did announce it.
Yeah, it'll be similar to what we
Even
did
sooner.
this year
Yes,
with the Queen Mary, but hopefully a bit more refined. And
Actual
that's not
updates
to
and
make that's
free updates
we're
too.
not trying. Yeah, we're not trying to make it pay or anything. Like
No.
most updates are free on there, or
Yeah.
they're early
Partially
access for
free. Yeah.
patrons, and then they go free. So
Though
you don't.
patrons. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But yeah, it's yeah. One thing I always say is if you don't if you have issues with what we do or anything, you're not obligated to give us money. But
Mhm.
if you love what we do, then then please, support us. But yeah. Matt's sick, and I've been nursing a headache, so you can't. Yeah.
My mic is
So
on.
well, we had to do this stream, so
Yeah, we want to do more like this, so we will.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us for this, and hope the last few days of your year, last one day of your year is amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a year.
See you in a year. See you next year.
See you next year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Thanks again, everyone.